Howdy y'all, my name is Gretchen and I'm the Restless Thrifter. I'm a reseller on eBay, Poshmark, and other online marketplaces. I'm going to talk to you about my January sales, but I'm going to do it a bit different than I normally do. I have been just giving you a summary of the month and sharing with you my top profit items and my fast flips and going through them just like I do when I go through things during my shipping videos. However, you've already seen them. We're going to go over ones that fall in a really interesting category, and that category is low sell-through rate items that still sold for good money. And I have 8 of them that I'm going to go over with you. And when I say low sell-through rate, I mean like 30% and below. Not good. I would still think of 30% as, okay, it's risky, but I may still pick it up. Even 25%. A lot of these had even lower, some as low as less than 1%. We're not going to go over sell-through rate though in this one. I have another video that I've already posted that talks about sell-through rate in depth, and we're just going to talk about the items themselves and kind of like, you know, going against sell-through rate, the risk that you take and the reward that I got, the payoff that I had as a result. All 8 of these sold within 90 days, 3 months or less, and that is my goal, to sell things that I pick up on average in 90 days or less. I know some things may take longer. Some things are going to be super fast. On average, I'm hoping it is 90 days or less. In January, overall, did I hit that average? No, I did not, because I was selling some older things. And that's a video for another time. But let's talk about the 8 that did. And we'll go in reverse order from longest to quickest. The first one is a sport coat. Actually, the first 2 are sport coats. And I know when I pick up sport coats that they are a longer tail item typically. There are a lot of different measurements and style variations of sport coats that people are going to be looking for. When I say sport coat, some people call them blazers, some people call them sport coats, some people may say suit jacket. All are sort of right. A blazer tends to be the ones with the metal buttons and are usually like a dark navy or blue. That's a blazer, and it's kind of a little more casual than a sport coat or a suit jacket may be. A suit jacket comes with pants. It comes with the suit. It's a suit. When that suit jacket doesn't have pants, it's a sport coat. That's all. That's all it is. I like to use all of those words in my titles if I have room, just because people look up things differently, right? So going into it, when I pick them up, I know they're going to be long tail items, but these 2 sold within 3 months. And some people might not pick up sport coats because of that. The first one is an Ermina Gilda Zegna cloth, 40 regular sport coat jacket, navy, wool, and silk, 2-button Italy. This particular sport coat I picked up over others because of Ermina Gilda Zegna. This one was a 40 regular, so I would say 40 regular up to 48 regular. I would pick up things within those sizes without even second guessing it. If it's a 42 or a 44, to me that's the most common, and I like to pick those up. But this was navy, so it was classic, and it was made of wool and silk, so it had better fibers than most of your sport coats. But wool is kind of the baseline. If it's made of polyester, I wouldn't even do it. But wool here, wool and silk or any other kind of better fiber, 100% silk, 100% linen, 100% cashmere, maybe not necessarily in that order, but you see what I mean. Camel hair, specialty fibers, right? Those are gonna be the best ones. Wool is not super special in a sport coat. It's like my minimum expectation. So it sold on eBay in 3 months. Without shipping, it sold for $98.96. That was a full price sale. That was pretty cool. With shipping, it was $110.03. And my cost of goods was a little bit higher because I had looked this up, and it was $11. I paid $11 for something that has a low sell-through rate. What? But I have experience with Zegna. I have learned from other resellers who pick up Zegna, and I was okay with it taking longer. Keep in mind, sell-through rate is about the time it takes to sell too. We're using a certain time period. So if it's gonna take longer for me, that's okay. My profit was $76.71. And then the next sport coat is a Lauren Ralph Lauren. That brand is pretty solid in sport coats. It's not gonna sell for 100 usually, but it's probably gonna sell. And it was also a 40 regular, 100% silk, 100% silk, very nice. Herringbone tweed classic, y'all. Herringbone's classic. Tweed is just a more general way of describing it. And then blazer jacket. You see, I used them all. 3 months on eBay to sell, low sell-through rate. There's a lot of them out there. They take longer to sell, so the sell-through rate doesn't look as good. It sold for $41.97 on an offer. Then they also paid for shipping. I paid $5 for that. That's my average cost of goods where I want to be typically. For the month of January, my average cost of goods was $4.99, right on target there. And then my profit was $27.87. I'm okay with that. I'm looking to make at least $20 per item on average. All right, that's my sport coat lesson. That's about all I know. I probably know a little bit more, and if you want to ask me any questions, go ahead. The other 6 items are not sport coats. The next one is something I got for free from a friend. It's a Giffensetti. I wouldn't remember that brand. Size extra large, formal dress, holographic, one shoulder, sequin, mermaid, fairy. My friend gave me this, and even though I could tell it was probably one of those brands that was just found on Amazon, that's not really well known, because it was new with tags and the style and the keywords I knew I could use, I decided to list it. The brand itself had a low sell-through rate, but I was able to use mermaid and fairy. I think that this dress fits both of those aesthetics very well. And it's the time of year when people are shopping for prom. Believe it or not, some people have already had their proms. I have a friend who posted her kids' prom pictures a couple weeks ago, and I'm like, what? Prom? She's like, I know, don't even get me started. But they also have winter formals. People are just shopping in advance. A lot of proms are gonna happen in the May timeframe, April-May timeframe, maybe even March. So this is the time people are shopping for them. Sold on Poshmark. That doesn't really surprise me that much. It sold for $50. Great. I paid nothing, so my profit was $40 after fees were taken out. This next one is a J. Jill plus size 2X dress. It's velvet with puff sleeves. It looks green to me, but it was called Prussian blue. And I also included the keywords holiday and Christmas because I think it's perfect for that. This actually sold after Christmas. It sold in 2 months on eBay. Has a low sell-through rate. J. Jill overall, very saturated online, even plus size. But I'll still pick it up if it is remarkable enough. Yeah, this one was new with tags, so that also helped it in my opinion. Sold through an offer of $47.97. They paid for shipping. My cost of goods was $8.65 and my profit was $34.55. On target there as well. The next one is another thing that I picked up based on style and not brand. It is vintage. So sometimes vintage can have a longer sell time. Newport News size 16 black velvet maxi dress, rhinestone, goth, whimsy goth, witchy. And this is fitting the currently popular aesthetic of goth, whimsy goth, witchy, all 3 of those. And I thought this is perfect. Also, it's a larger size. That's great. And it's vintage. I think the girls are really liking the vintage. Sold in 2 months on eBay for $40 through an offer. They paid for shipping. My cost of goods was low at $5.41 and my profit was $24.80. So looking for those goth, whimsy goth, witchy, I'm trying to capitalize on it while it's popular because a lot of times I get into the trends at the tail end. I don't know if this one's gonna go away real fast, like boho. Boho's been around forever. I don't think it's going away. All right, the next one is something that's a little bit out of my wheelhouse. It's Royal Copenhagen set of 2 fluted signature pair of mugs, 33 CL. I don't know what that is. That's a measurement. Coffee cup, Denmark. I picked this up at a garage sale, and you probably were guessing that because at thrift stores, I tend to stay in the clothing area. I don't tend to look up comps when I'm at a garage sale. It just, I don't know, it just feels weird to me to do that with people sitting right there. For some reason, when I was at this garage sale, it didn't feel weird, and so I was looking them up. There might have been a lot of people around, you know. If I'm the only person and I'm like, it feels strange, you know. It sold in 1 month on Facebook. Low sell-through rate, but I had seen a pretty decent, but when I looked it up, there were pretty decent average sales price. Sold for $76 through an offer. They paid for shipping as well. My cost of goods was $5 at that garage sale, and my profit was $61.45. Next one, another brand like don't memorize. In fact, the only brands I've mentioned that I would memorize are Zegna and Lauren Ralph Lauren. This is Jacques de Loux. Actually, maybe memorize this one because it's fancy. Men's size large cardigan sweater, vintage, 100% cashmere, grunge, black. When Kurt Cobain wore cardigans, that just gave it street cred right there, okay? Add grunge in there. Do I know if this person is wanting to dress like Kurt Cobain? No. It may just be someone who likes to wear nice fabrics and likes cardigans. Or all three. This sold in 1 month on eBay. Low sell-through rate for that brand. And if you were to look up cashmere cardigan sweater, there's probably a lot of them out there. Sold for $40. I did have this sell listed for like $99. I was like, shooting for the moon. I took it. I took that 40 bucks. They, of course, paid for shipping. My cost of goods was $2.16. So low, y'all, so low. And my profit was $34.47. So it's the last one. I'm not going to go through all the other ones in January. Like I said, I'm just kind of focusing on this one, like, kind of group of items that I'm like, these shouldn't have sold for what they sold for, right? And this one, I mean, I was surprised when I looked these up and the sell-through rate was low because they've always sold quickly for me. OOFOS, and then I put the men's and women's size, it's unisex. Recovery slides, Sport Flex sandals, black or labyrinth. These were mine. They did not work out for me. They made me fall down. I talk about it in another video. Sold in 1 day on Facebook, like within the same day actually. And they have a low sell-through rate, but guys, I have sold them several times. Now, the other ones that I've sold had more wear, and so they sold for like 25, 30 maybe. One of them had kind of a special color. These, I had not worn them that much, so I listed them for 40. They sold for 40, full asking price. I didn't even have to pay for shipping. Technically, I lost money because these were more expensive. But if I were to consider my cost of goods as zero, because it was my personal money, it's 40 bucks. That's everything I wanted to go over in this video. If you found this format kind of interesting, let me know. I'm just trying different things. I don't want to bore people, but my previous monthly wrap-ups just weren't getting a lot of views. So I'm like, hell, they take a lot of time to do. Why am I doing them if nobody wants to watch them? So I thought I would try something different. You guys have a good day and just keep listing.